Alright everyone, snitches get stitches. Leftoids are now pretending to be revolutionaries. There's a link in the description, archived of course. It's from The Guardian actually. And it's a suggestion to people, well, Donald Trump is a fascist. He's an authoritarian. So basically if you see something, don't say nothing. I agree with the sentiment, not with the principle about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not a fascist. He's a populist. He's not going to put you barefooting in the kitchen and put you in a handmaiden's tale dress or something like that. That's not what he's about. He's a mild reformer in the spirit of like first-term Ronald Reagan, basically. Or maybe like a JFK or an Eisenhower. Somebody who's mildly reforming the system. So I don't agree with the principle of the article. And I definitely don't agree with supporting leftoidism. But I do support the concept of snitches get stitches. Yes, if you see something, generally speaking, you shouldn't say anything. Like, for example, I'm walking down the street. I see someone dealing heroin, but they're dealing it to an adult. As long as it's not a kid, or they're not doing something nefarious like that, I'm not going to say anything. You think that I give a fuck? Nobody cares. Don't support the drug war anyway. Somebody's got a weapon, and I understand that it's not necessarily fully legal for them to have a weapon, but I also know that they're non-violent. I know that they're not going to use that to kill someone, except maybe in self-defense. I'm not saying nothing. When I was in jail, I saw all sorts of crazy shit going on. Did I narc? No. There's a reason for that. There was one incident in which I had to, in order to save my own skin, and simply say, look, it wasn't me that brought the weed into the cell, but refused to identify the individual who did. And there's a reason for that, because then you can get beat up. That's not a good idea, by the way, if you're actually imprisoned at the time. I agree with the sum and substance of this particular article, but not for the political reasons that are given. I think that people need to leave each other alone. If you see someone harming a kid, kicking a puppy, something like that, then definitely you should do something about that. But if somebody is engaged in behavior that would be illegal, but they're not violating anyone's rights, okay, they're not harming anyone, or the person that is being harmed, like with the heroin dealers, is consenting to it because they're just an addict or something. Yes, I do approve of the basic idea that this article professes. I find it funny. The left had years to, make this sort of article. This is legacy media, of course, The Guardian. And they said nothing. There's the hypocrisy. This is what pisses me off. For 4 years under Joe Biden, you said, well, you must obey the law, do whatever the government tells you, etc., etc. Now, all of a sudden, because Trump is going to take office, you say, well, because of resurgent fascism, we must, use jury nullification and stuff like that. Where were you for the last 4 years of persecution? Because we had plenty of it. We have solid evidence. We have objective proof that there was political persecution going on. Actual fascism, by the way, in some manners, or at the very least, authoritarianism. Meanwhile, Trump is cast off as the authoritarian for lowering people's taxes, okay? He's pro-choice, actually, so that line fell flat. There's a reason liberals don't use it anymore. And is generally anti-war, anti-world policing. We see right now, for example, because of Biden's stupidity, Syria has fallen to Islamofascism. We'll be talking about that later, by the way. To the point where they're restricting the educational curriculum considerably because, they want to control people. There's your actual fascism. There is fascism in the world, or at least authoritarianism. You're just not going to find it under Donald Trump. But it's good to see the left finally embracing the same thing that the right has been saying now for half a decade, which is, if you see something, don't say nothing. Jury nullification, don't snitch, leave people alone. Again, if they're not being harmed. If there's no kid involved or if someone's doing dog rape or something like that, there's no reason to bother blabbing, to the authorities, so-called. The justice system has been warped and perverted. Judges are no longer, in some cases, particularly fair. A lot of it is political in nature, socio-political. Sometimes it's even religious in nature. Go to Michigan. Go to a court there. See what happens. Eat pork, I suppose. This is happening more and more frequently. Donald Trump is not the one that did these things. The basis of the article is completely wrong. If you want to find a fascist, you're going to be looking at Joe Biden more than Donald Trump. He's more authoritarian by far. But the sum and substance of the result of your misbelief about Trump is actually quite good. I just think that more people should practice it. I think everyone should just shut the fuck up. There's no reason for you to blab. Again, unless there is a direct victimization. If it is a legitimate law, so somebody shot someone, you should probably give a police report. Somebody had a firearm and you know they're not supposed to have it, but they didn't shoot anyone and you know them not to be a violent person, shut the fuck up. Somebody is dealing drugs to little kids. You should probably make a report. Somebody is dealing drugs to their neighbor and you know that they both enjoy them, by the way. Shut the fuck up. That's my advice, at least. That's about all. Peace out.